In the survey sample world, fraudulent data is a threat to the legitimacy of market research. Every day, a battle wages between two distinct groups: survey fraudsters, who are there to steal research budget, and OpinionRoute, who builds elite technology that protects survey data. We tracked down and interviewed two global fraudsters, and these are their stories.
I take around 20 to 25 surveys in a day. Initially, it was my friend who introduced me to the survey, and then I started doing myself and learned few tricks and tweaks, decided to teach it. Also, I noticed there are scams going on in Bangladesh where people usually take money if someone wants to learn about online surveys, but they were not getting the service after giving money. Hence, I decided to open a YouTube channel and put it online for free. If it is a shorter format video, it takes less time. If I'm starting a new topic, initial videos are longer as I need to introduce and show a lot of things on the video. Hence, it usually takes a longer time. Recording, editing, putting that onto YouTube will take around 10 hours for me. And I try to upload daily videos on YouTube. I take around 20 to 25 surveys in a day. I do it as a freelancer. My motto is to educate people more on surveys. My earning is based on basically two things. One, YouTube. Second, when people come to me and ask me to teach one-on-one or in a group session related to the survey or online earnings, it's the same what I teach on my YouTube videos. Otherwise, I'm a physics student. No, I know few folks, an individual who does this, and a few YouTube channels as well, but I'm not aware of any organization as such. Usually, towards end of the survey, I get an error page all of a sudden. And also, sometimes my profile gets suspended without any prior notification. Or if suddenly my IP gets changed, my profile also get blocked. Oh yes, it definitely helped a lot of people. I make shorter format videos on different topics, like setting up profiles, setting up IP to save getting blocked. So it's easy to follow, as covering all of the topic at once would be a very long video, around like 3 4 hours video, which is not feasible for me. However, not every time it's easily understands for all the topics, so many of them reached out to me personally to teach them. Usually, I look for advertisement-based surveys or product-based surveys, but I also take IT-related surveys and few business-related surveys where it's easy topic, where I do not need to have extensive knowledge about the business. Myself, I have already registered with like around 20 to 30 survey sites. I use one ID for all the sites until that particular ID gets blocked or suspended. Also, sometimes these sites ask to provide feedback or reviews. So that time I use a different ID to provide them that. No, I do not have any device farm. However, I have 6 devices, including MacBook, iOS, Windows laptop, and Android phones. I personally do not use any bots or jumpers. However, I know few folks who definitely do it on the surveys. I usually get cautious on the attention check questions and also try to avoid IP change. I always use a static IP, not a rotational one, as it can block my profile. Also, I try to make sure that I'm putting the correct information on the service as I mentioned on my profile. Like I mentioned, I shop for 5 days in a month on my profile. I try to use that same information on the surveys as well, so the profile get matched and it does not get suspended. Around 400 to 500 in a month. I usually do not reset any devices until the ID get blocked or suspended, or when I face any account related issue. I'm aware of YouTube community guidelines, but I do not have any clue about any legal authorities related to surveys.
I were using BPS service. So that's a kind of device farm, but it's not physical. And with that, I can open 10 to 20, 30 instance with the same computer, virtual device farm. The max device farm that I have were 25 instances at the same time. Yeah. WES, there is so much services online that can do that. $400 to $1,000 sometimes. Because here in Venezuela, the hourly wage is very low. So I was searching for ways to do more money online. Venezuela is on Latin America. I needed to find a way to make the surveys. So that's why I'm using residential proxies. It's easy to purchase, but it's kind of complicated to set up. Well, surveys that I can use with all my device, because one survey that pays $1, if I do it 25 times, it's $25. No, it wasn't easy. I'd spend a lot of time and money trying to do that. Yeah, I am no longer working like that because I am testing now the server sites and searching for preventing people to do the things that I was doing. The surveys that don't have any quality checks, because some surveys has quality checks from prevent bots from doing that. On the past, I have done so. Yeah, but that were bots programmed by myself. Open-ended answers, mathematical questions, things like that, logical questions. A couple of years ago, the time I spent taking surveys was from 60 to 70 hours a week. From 100 to 1,000 surveys. I like the computers a lot, and that's how I knew some of the knowledge to do that things, because I studied networks. Now, what's the payment? Well, the most services are free, so I was using some kind of Chrome history browser. So something like a browser that lets me see all the URL, all the links that I've gone through. I think over the time it has gone more difficult and needs more configuration and things like that. Exactly 3 years. Yeah, now it's easier. Setting up is easier, but doing the surveys is more complicated now. In a month, from $400 to $2,500. I think 90%, 95% of my device farm. There were a lot of quality checks and the security measures of the surveys itself, because sometimes the residential proxies don't work, sometimes the servers shut down. I have changed providers like 4 to 5 times. I changed the device, the browser fingerprint. I can change the browser fingerprint the times that I need for, and also the IP addresses. I were using tools to clean my computers, my servers. I think the surveys are getting harder to fake out for new people, but for me it's really easy to complete any survey of any subject because of the time I spent learning how the online surveys are structured. 25 to 30 survey sites. Well, since I can tell names is a bit complicated to explain, but there's some survey sites that requires ID verification, and that's what I avoid. Yeah, each device was counted as a different person. I make the bot stop and then I make the open-ended by myself. Well, it depends on the hash calculation itself. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. Yep, with a calculator. But only with the 4 digits, 3 digits. More than that is a lot harder. Finding ways to detect the residential proxies will be the first one, because some of the people that do fraud are using that. Almost 100% of the people using hashes on the regular links, larger hashes. Third one would be ID verification, because that will be the most secure.